All right, so before I show you the woodshed I built in a day for less than 50 bucks, give or take, a few disclaimers I need to state. Number one, I am not a carpenter. I don't know much about carpentry. I kind of followed a design that my cousin, Slick Willie, built this other woodshed on. So this is not like a how-to or a DIY video on building this woodshed. I'll show you guys some highlights. Yesterday, it was so hot and muggy. It was overcast all day, but I had to change clothes twice. I had sweat running into my eyes. My eyes are still like, I don't know, it's just, it was not very fun to be working on this, but I wanted to get it done, and I wanted to get it done in a day. I didn't quite finish, so it's not completely done in a day, but like I said, I'll show you some highlights. We'll come back and then I'll kind of explain everything and show you how it all turned out. And there you go. There it is. That is what I got done yesterday on Saturday. It's Sunday morning right now, so I'm back out here. Like I said, yesterday it was just, I was so drained, and I just needed to get in and take a second shower. And so this is wrapping it up now on day 2, but everything is pretty much done. So we went from the little shade canopy. I'll show you the shade canopy right now. We went from that to this. And like I said, this is the design that I kind of followed. I had this big pallet from my neighbor. Like, he gave me this big pallet that he got from his work, and Slick Willie came up here one day and kind of laid out this design and put this together. So I basically just followed this when I built this one. I didn't make it as big. I made it a little bit deeper, but not as wide. And right now I just kind of have it braced up. I still have some bracing to do up on the top, and I have to finish getting the floorboards put down. But for the most part, I am extremely happy with how this turned out. And this, what I'm going to be using this for, again, if you didn't hear in the video where I went and milled up this lumber, I'm going to be using this for the splitter. I'm going to put the splitter in there, and then this is where I'm going to split from my central splitting location. And then I can put the splitter back in here if I do take it out. And during the winter, it can stay over here, out of the snow, out of the elements. So while I'm up here splitting, I've got full view of the wood yard. Oh, it's just so nice. Yeah, it turned out great. I did end up using, just because I had them, I used 2x6s up here for the purlings and the rafters. So I used everything I had for lumber. And so that's kind of where the cost of doing this for under $50 came in. And I'll explain that, because there was a little bit of cost, but I ended up having a way to pay for it other than out of my own pocket. So some of the costs that I had to build this, I had to buy some screws. I had to buy some screws for the steel on the top. I needed some nails, some bolts to bolt everything together on the bottom. And what I used to pay for that, for those supplies, was a while back when I went and helped out my neighbor clean up that one tree. He had given me a gift card to the local supply store where I get all, lumber and materials from. So I didn't have to pay out of pocket for that. And I know what some of you will say is that, well, you still had a cost because your time and all of that. But I like to figure things out as, when I think of paying for something, I think of taking money out of my own pocket and paying it to like someone else. Like, that's what I consider a cost. So I had about $50. The steel on the top, I paid $5 a sheet for that, if you remember way back when I bought this from a farmer down by my parents. So that's what I figured into the cost for the materials and for being under 50 bucks. But everything else that I used the gift card for, and all the lumber that I used to make this, I don't consider that a cost, because I went and I did the work myself. I didn't take money out of my pocket and gave it to someone else for it. So, but yeah, this is it. This is where the Wolf Ridge, this is the new home of the Wolf Ridge right here. And like I said, I think I just got to finish up. I got to put the floorboards, I got to fasten a few more of those down. I got a couple other bolts I got to just put in. But otherwise, this is it. This is, like I said, the new home of the Wolf Ridge. And from here, I think what I'm going to do is set up my bucking platform over here to the right and feed the rounds in. The other thing that I know some of you will probably say is I should have probably, made a little solid. The foundation should have been more solid. But my thought process with that is, this way I can come in from the front here with the forks and probably pick this thing up and slide it around or move it to another location. So yeah, it's probably not the best foundation, but hey, all it's going to do is hold the splitter, and in the future potentially hold some wood. I might store firewood in here. So I wasn't too concerned with putting concrete footings in and then building off those footings, because this is not probably going to end up being the home where this stays. I mean, it might, but either way, oh, that was the other part of the cost, the cement blocks. So there it is, the woodshed, or I guess the splitter shed, completed. Well, almost complete. Got a few more things to do. So yeah, maybe a little bit over a day, maybe, however you want to look at the cost. I say under 50 bucks, just because, I got the logs for free. I milled up the lumber myself. I had to buy a few supplies. I did use the gift card for that I exchanged for some labor. The steel I did have to buy. So like I said, right around 50 bucks is what I figured I have into this shed, or this shelter. And I think it's going to be a great home for the Wolf Ridge log splitter now through winter, and then we'll see next year what ends up happening over there. Is it perfect? No, it's not perfect. I know that, but I think it's going to serve its purpose. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. So good times here in the Back 40 Wood Yard. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Stay safe, have fun, and be cool.